We are live here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. As always, I'm your host, Trizzy Trace Girouard. Thank you so much for tuning in to our Monday edition of our live programming. I got my guy, Loco Lopez, on the ones and twos. We're going to be discussing some trade buzz. We're going to be talking about some things that we've learned about this team at this point throughout the season. And then, of course, we're going to get into some rumors and a mailbag, and we're going to have a fun conversation. Wanted to start things off first with hanging out with my guy, I Love Football. Brother, fist bump to you. He went ahead and started off the show with the $5 super chat before we even got started. And for that reason, Lopez, should we make him the first member of the Helmet Gang? Is that what we do here?
I think we might have to.
It might have to be. It might have to be. So, I Love Football sent in a $5 super chat. He said, Trizzy, Saints have 5 picks in the 2026 NFL draft, and I know you don't want to draft O-line first round. How about Caden Proctor and use him at guard? I wouldn't mind Caden Proctor. I really, really wouldn't. I think, though, if you're going to go offensive line, trade back. I think you trade back and try to get some extra draft capital because you do only have 5 selections. And if you have a top 3, top 5 pick, I would like to just go get the best player, whether that's an alpha wide receiver, an edge rusher, a safety, quarterback if it has to be, if we know at that point we need one. My point being, if you have a prime draft pick, you should use it on a prime player. The helmet stickers are back, and we got a white and gold full-size Saints helmet. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be filling up this beautiful, beautiful lid, with some stickers. And then we're going to be sending it to one of you lucky viewers of the show because we want to give back to the squad. We want to give back to the family. And we want you guys to have an awesome piece of Saints Now merch that's one of one. So I Love Football, because you were the first one to send in a super chat, I'm going to go ahead and give you a helmet sticker. So shout out to you. If you would like to get one as well, it's a $10 super chat today. I will go ahead and let you guys know on the first day that we have this back, so you can't say what the heck. We are going to be increasing the prices on game day. It will be a $20 super chat to get on the helmet on game day. So if you would like to get on the helmet for 50% off, that's an incentive to hang out on Thursdays and on Mondays. So I Love Football, the first member of the White Saints Helmet Gang. So there you go, my friend. Thank you for your donation. Because you sent in a super chat early, I wanted to reward you for doing that. If you would like to be the next person on the helmet, $10 super chat, you too can get on the helmet. We're going to be sending, I'm sorry. That spot. Dead center. See, what I was thinking is we don't cover the strip because it is the gold there. I don't know. That's a good question. It's a good point there, Lopez. It's a good point. The last one, dude, because it was a normal helmet, I'm not kidding you. We put them like on anywhere that wasn't the logo, got a sticker. It was hilarious. They were all over the place. But, yeah. We might be able to move I Love Football if he wants to move. We might be able to move him. Yeah, we could move him if he wants. But there you go. So if you would like to get a helmet sticker, $10, and you can join it. And we will be sending it away to one lucky viewer of the show. You want to know how you get it? You have to be on the helmet. If you are not on the helmet, you do not get to enter the giveaway. So I Love Football. Congratulations. Right now you are the winner of a full-size White Saints helmet because you're the only guy on the helmet. Alrighty, let's get into some fun content. Give me a Who Dat in the chat if you would like a shout out. We went live yesterday, had a really good time hanging out, watching some football. Of course, we would have liked to see the Saints beat the Patriots. Of course, we would have liked to see New Orleans have a better outing. That being said, I thought it was a game where you learned a lot. I think it was a very obvious display that the New Orleans Saints are not ready to swing above their weight class. And I think that this is one of those games that you will go back and look and you'll be like, all right, I think this is where you really started to figure out what the future is going to be looking like. Rhett wants to be on the helmet for symmetry. Put me on. All righty, Rhett. I got you. Whoop. Almost
You
dropped
just
the
made the
stickers.
helmet.
You just made the helmet. That's a good one, Lopez. I can't talk and write. If you guys are new to the show.
I'm multitasking.
Yeah, don't ask me to do it. Because it will not go well.
So you can't answer.
I almost spelled. Oh, no, I didn't. I almost spelled Rhett's name wrong because I was trying to explain that I can't write and talk. Write and talk. Son of a gun. I cannot write and talk to save my life. I have severe ADD, and I'm a little bit of an idiot, and I might be a little slow. But you know what I like to do is have a good time all the time. Rhett, welcome to the helmet, my friend. You just made the helmet. Oh, yeah.
Honestly,
shout out to you guys.
If it only sticks with 2 people, it'd be a really electric duck race. Just 2 people.
It would
Not
be
saying
pretty
let's
cool.
do that, but that'd be
That
hilarious.
actually objectively would be so sick. 2 people to get one badass helmet would be rad. That would be rad. Alrighty, Rhett, you are on the helmet front and not quite center, but front and left, the way that I'm looking at it. Front and right here. I love football, front and left. We're going to fill it up the line, and then we're going to expand all the way around. So, booyah! If you want to make the helmet, $10 super chat. It'll be $20 on game day, so there's incentive to hang out. What?
Happy Thanksgiving!
So, 5 minutes before I went live, we found out that today was Canadian Thanksgiving. What's your favorite Canadian thing? Not bacon, because that's just sliced ham. I will say maple syrup.
I like moose.
You like mooses? Meese?
That's
What's the plural for moose? What's the plural for moose?
I like moose.
Dalton says he likes hockey and he likes the Calgary Flames. I too like hockey. I like Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is hilarious. He's one of my favorite actors. What is plural for moose? Davion Thomas says it's just moose. There's no way. But what's singular for moose?
Moose.
So there's look at that moose over there and look at all those moose over there.
We can say meese.
I think it might need to be meese.
Look at all of them meese.
Might need to be meese.
Look at all of them meese.
Look at all them meese. Because it's geese. Why would it not be meese? Again, we are not football podcasters. We're English teachers. Duh. Alrighty.
We're Canadian teachers.
Yeah, we're Canadian English teachers. Lopez, what did you say your favorite Canadian thing was? Moose. That's right. That's how that whole thing started. That's how that whole thing started. Is that a moose versus wow? Look at those moose, Davion. Yeah. No. All right. We Brian Reagan calls them moosin'. Like okay. Brian Reagan is also awesome. Yeah. Okay. I mean, Rhett. It's a good point. That's a good point. We are going to be getting into a mailbag later on here on the show. Make sure you use hashtag Saints. Make sure you use the super chat function. If you do send in a donation, you will get to skip the line. We'll spend a few minutes extra on the topic that you provide, whether it's a trade idea, player you want to draft, a guy we should go sign, questions about anything. Use hashtag Saints. Send in a super chat if you would like to be featured on the show and have your beautiful YouTube profile be shown in front of tens of thousands of Saints fans. So there you go. Kendall Taylor, good to see you, my friend. Keith Goodman, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing well. Rhett, thank you for rocking and rolling with us. Braden, Dalton, Mile High, as always, hanging out with us. He's a what's it called? He's a Broncos fan, but he's a legend. What up, Dalton? What up, Keith? Wednesday is my day to freedom. I love it, brother. I love it. Keep it up, brother. Keep it up. Wednesday. We're counting down the days. Let's go.
Is that like his Saturday or our Thursday?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so.
Just making sure.
Yeah, I believe so. We're almost there, brother. Almost there.
For a second, I thought Saints Now was being broadcast in like county jails. Like I get out on Wednesday, but Saints Now.
Let's party, man. Even if it is, that'd be awesome.
That'd be lit.
That'd be so
I'd
sick.
love to be broadcasted in county jails.
Wait, no, hold on. I think it is. I think that actually is. Keith, I'll be on a train Friday, headed to Tennessee. May not be here Sunday, but I'll be here for sure. Hey, Keith, You're always here in spirit, brother. You're always in here in spirit. Thank you for always being a legend and always being a real one. My Broncos won in London. We destroyed the Jets. Yeah, Aaron Glenn, Justin Fields. Bad. Not good situation going on for the Jets right there. If you would like to get on the show, we don't really have many hashtag Saints in the chat quite yet, but if you would like to have a question answered, if you'd like us to respond to a hot take, if you have a trade idea, if you have a player you just want to trade away, anything like that, use hashtag Saints. Lopez and I will be answering questions later on in the show. Get piled questions up now because later on we'll have more people and we don't want you guys to miss your opportunity to get on the show. So if you get your questions in now, it's a greater likelihood that you will be featured. We don't get everyone. People have gotten upset before because we didn't get to you, but we want to give you an opportunity to try to skip the line, get ahead early, and be on there. All righty, Dalton, Jerry, good questions. He's on work release. Keith is on work release, so he's able to have his phone.
What is that?
Yeah.
What is work release? Am I stupid?
A little bit. I mean, that was your question you asked.
No, like I get it, but like still, what's work release?
He's able to have his phone while he's doing his work and whatnot.
Oh, like his break time.
Yeah.
Okay.
All righty, CTM, $10 super chat. I know it's not looking good for us, but we have to see what we have in Tyler. But Spencer is clearly not the problem. How do you feel about rebuilding the team around Rattler? CTM, before I answer that question, let me write your helmet sticker.
Do you want the full government, CTM 144, or you just want CTM?
Yeah, what does CTM stand for? Just kidding. Don't tell us. Unless you want to.
We won't dox you, we swear.
Alrighty, CTM on the helmet. Right there. Right there. That's your spot forever and ever and ever, CTM. It's my initials. Yeah, don't tell us your initials. But don't tell us what they stand for. Alrighty, I know it's not looking good, but we have to see what we have to see what we have in Tyler, but Spencer's clearly not the problem. How do you feel about rebuilding? I don't have a problem rebuilding with Spencer Rattler as the quarterback whatsoever. I want that to be abundantly clear. I will not be upset if Spencer Rattler proves to be the franchise guy. I don't necessarily know if he will be the franchise guy. I think the jury is still out on that. And I think that, like you said, we need to see what we have in Tyler Shuck to be able to at least have a better understanding of whether or not they should roll forward with him or with Shuck. So I think right now I have no problem with rebuilding around Rattler. But I do want to be very clear when I say I don't think he's done enough to prove he is a franchise guy. And when you look at what Drake May looked like yesterday versus what Spencer Rattler looked like yesterday, I think it is completely different players. Like, I think Drake May is, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Rattler. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anyone who loves Spencer Rattler, because I know it's a touchy subject for some reason. But I think, like, here's Spencer Rattler. I think Drake May's up here. Like, I just think that Drake May is a complete franchise guy. I think he's proved that he can be a franchise guy. I think he has the traits and the qualities that you want in a franchise guy. He's somebody who elevates his team. He's somebody who has gotten better with more time, and Rattler has gotten better with time. I'm not saying he hasn't, but I think that when you look at Drake May versus looking at Spencer Rattler, very, very different players. Is that fair to say? Like, I just think that Drake May is
progressing a lot faster.
Yeah, one's much further along. One is, like, I'm not going to say that either of them have a better situation. I think that the Patriots have a decent situation around him, but I mean, Drake May looks good, man. He is very clearly him.
Well, also, he kind of is supposed to be ahead of Spencer Rattler. What was he, number 3 overall?
Yeah,
Rattler
exactly. You should be
fourth,
further along
fifth
in
round,
that.
something like that.
Yeah, he was. Spencer Rattler was the 150th selection. Drake May was like the 3rd.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, no, he should be much further along. But that's kind of the difference between a first-round pick versus a fifth-round pick.
You have to develop that fifth-round pick.
Yeah, exactly. You have to take time to develop it. Not saying you can't do that, but Drake May ready to roll much quicker than Spencer Rattler. Not a problem, but something to consider. If you have the ability to go and draft a quarterback first, second, third overall, I'm not saying you should do it just for the sake of doing it. You need to be in love and you need to be dead set that is your guy. No quarterback in this class is that for me. I'm going to be honest. Not really in love with Fernando Mendoza. I think he's a great college football quarterback. I don't know if I want him on my team right now. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't watched a ton of him, to be totally honest, but like all of the guys that we were talking about early in the season, Cade Klubnik, Garrett Nussmeier, Arch Manning, Lenore Sellers, all of those guys I think have been outperformed by Ty Simpson, by Fernando Mendoza, by Carson Beck. I mean, like some of these guys are looking unbelievable that we weren't even talking about 2 months ago. So
I will make the prediction. I think one of the 4 or 5 that you named that we had high going into the year, I think they're going to get drafted lower, but one of them will be successful. I don't know which one. I'm not going to try and put names, but I think one will turn out good.
Let's say Cade Klubnik. Let's say Rams. Let's say Rams take him late in round 1. I think that's a literally perfect situation for him. Sean McVay, you get a little bit of time to sit behind Matthew Stafford to learn from him, to develop. You have a phenomenal defense. You have a great management. Mm-hmm. You have a great coaching staff. You have weapons. You have a good I almost, if I'm Nuss, if I'm Lenoris, if I'm Klubnik, if I'm any of those, I almost hope
in front of the Rams.
Yeah, I almost fuck it, man. Let me fall to one of these teams who really needs a quarterback, who doesn't really need one now, but yeah. I do like Lenore Sellers. Of all of the top quarterbacks that we talked about early, Lenore Sellers is still my favorite one. I've cooled down on him as the season progresses. I also will say, I think he needs a good coach to have around to be paired with him. And I think Kellen Moore could be a good pairing with him, but that's one of those proceed with caution. Quarterback, unless you're an absolute love, proceed with caution. First round, I am in love with the idea of going Jordan Tyson. I'm in love with Caleb Downs. I'm in love with Ruben Bain. I'm in love with the Clemson guy, TJ Parker. I don't necessarily absolutely love any of those quarterbacks, though, to be honest. So we'll see what happens. If you guys have any hot takes, if you have any questions you'd like us to respond to, use hashtag Saints. Without further ado, we're going to get into the content. Friendly reminder, $10 super chat gets you on the Saints Now Icy White helmet if you would like to be featured. So go ahead, send in a super chat, $10, and you will be the next member of the squad. And for what it's worth, in case you guys didn't know, the prices go up to $20 on game day. So get your tickets, or not your tickets. Yeah, on Monday. So on Thursdays, we have half-price tickets for our raffle items. On Mondays, we do half-priced helmet stickers. That's kind of the incentive that we're going to be doing all season long, at least until we fill out that helmet. I think it's kind of a fun way to make the live shows on Mondays and Thursdays a little bit more interesting, if you will. Have a little extra fun.
Should we tell them once we fill up one helmet means we can get another helmet faster?
That's true. The faster we fill this one up, the faster we fill that one up, we can get the black one. We can get a throwback maybe. We could get just the regular gold. We could get another white one. What I honestly think would be kind of fun is Mitch did this. He got a helmet, and he slapped a Raiders Report logo on there. I think it would be really fun to slap a Saints Now logo sticker right here on the side and give away that to one lucky viewer.
Our faces on the other side.
So we could do Saints Now and then a picture of us right here.
Right there.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. All righty, let's get into it. First segment is going to be Fanatics. And let me move my script. My mouse is bugging again. There we go. All right, cool. Let me get my timer, lather the pipes, and we're good to go. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Saints Now by Chat Sports Live. This is a fun thing we've been doing all season long. Monday live show, Thursday live show, Sunday watch party, and content all throughout the week. So without further ado, let's get on into it. We're going to start off with some trade rumors because the New Orleans Saints are rebuilding. Whether they like to admit it or not, that is what we're going to start off with. Lopez, whenever you are ready. We're going to start off today's trade rumors with the list of players who I think the New Orleans Saints could potentially end up dealing. I'm not going to sit here and say all of these guys will be traded, nor am I going to say I want these guys to be traded. But we have to have an honest conversation because whether the New Orleans Saints are ready to admit it or not, they are in the midst of a rebuild. And the Saints need to address a lot of different positions of need, and they are in position to have a really, really valuable draft pick here in the 2026 NFL draft. They only have 5 selections, so you're going to need to find ways to get more draft picks, and you know how you do that? Trade away players. We are in the midst of a tough reality, and unfortunately, we have to have this conversation. I know you guys don't like talking about it. There hasn't been necessarily a ton of reports of here is who's been called here, here is who's been making calls here, but this is, this could be what happens here in the next few weeks. Situations to monitor, a little bit of speculation, a little bit of putting some pieces together, talk to some of the guys at the office. But at the end of the day, the New Orleans Saints, they are in the midst of a really, really rocky start. I know that they're 1-5, and we all know that they are much, much better than that record indicates. But the roster needs improvements, and they need to really consider trading off some of these players. Now, get in the comment section before we start this off. Let me know a player you think New Orleans should trade away. I am going to let you use that list of 8 guys that we showed at the beginning of this video. Kamara, Olave, Shaheed, Taysom Hill, Demario Davis, Pete Werner, Cam Jordan, Carl Granderson, all guys that could be on the trade block, but also there, of course, there's a lot of other names on the roster too. Get in the comments and name me one. I gave you 8. Alrighty, I want to start off first, by having a conversation about a team that could potentially be making a call for a very valuable New Orleans Saints veteran. In case you guys didn't know, 49ers linebacker Fred Warner is going to be out for the rest of the season due to a dislocated ankle, and that is a really, really unfortunate injury for the San Francisco 49ers, and I could see them being a team that could be interested in bringing in some extra talent to that defense. Right now, they're at 4-2. They're first place in their division, the NFC West, and I could see San Francisco picking up the phone and saying, hey, Mickey, what's it going to take to give us either Demario Davis or Pete Werner? When you consider what Fred Warner is to the defense in San Francisco, he's an all-pro, he's a leader, he's a very valuable guy, and he's somebody who plays at an extremely high level. And that sounds a lot like our favorite linebacker, Demario Davis. And so I think San Francisco would have a lot more interest in trading for Demario Davis than Pete Werner, but for me personally, I'd rather give them Werner. And I will say when it comes to Demario Davis, he should have the option to choose whether or not he gets dealt. But I can tell you right now, I think that San Francisco will be picking up the phone. Will the trade happen? I don't know. But I do think that San Francisco is at least going to be making a call. And the 49ers, they also not just lost Fred Warner. Guess what? They also lost Carl Granderson. They lost Nick Bosa. I can't read. So that's where we're going to get to the next point, Carl Granderson. Because Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, 2 players, arguably 2 of the best players in the defense at their respective positions. They're really, really phenomenal athletes, really, really high-level guys. This is horrible losses. If you had the San Francisco 49ers defense in fantasy, sorry, man, that blows. But look, I do think when you consider what's going on in New Orleans and what's going on in San Francisco, this could actually be a match made in heaven in terms of a trade. We've seen Danny Stutzman and Isaiah Stallbird start to get rotated in with the starters for New Orleans. We saw Danny Stutzman get 4 snaps a couple of weeks ago, and then he had a much higher snap count against the Patriots. He even logged a couple of tackles. He showed some nice things. And Isaiah Stallbird is a player who's a thumper and has a lot of energy. And I think that both of those guys are tone setters and could be difference makers. So when it comes to the linebacker position, you're already seeing the New Orleans Saints start kind of working things around and seeing, hey, what do we got in this guy? What do we got in this guy? So maybe, just maybe, this could be something that is actually something that comes to fruition. Isaiah Stallbert, Danny Stutzman, they've been getting a lot of run with the starters alongside Demario Davis specifically. So I think that actually Pete Werner might be the guy that the Saints are more eager to trade away, and I would prefer to do that as well. I'd like to keep Demario Davis, trade Pete Werner. I know that a lot of y'all are like, hey, Pete Werner, kind of tired, kind of frustrated with him. That's totally fine. And I know a lot of y'all are like, Demario Davis, he's old, he's expensive, he's slow, he's lost his step, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I think that Demario Davis is still playing at an extremely high level. I think that he's a player who can still make a huge impact. And quite frankly, I think that you would be better off trading away Pete Werner, keeping the leadership of Demario Davis and the locker room presence of Demario Davis, and elevating Danny Stutzman into that starting role. And look, we talked about how the San Francisco 49ers also traded or also lost Nick Bosa. Carl Granderson definitely could get some interest. I think that he definitely is a player that is on the radar for the San Francisco 49ers. Cam Jordan as well, but I think that the Saints would rather move Carl Granderson over Cam Jordan. Cam has been very vocal. He wants to be a Saint for life. He signed another contract to retire with the New Orleans Saints, so I don't think that he is going to get moved. But Carl Granderson has been playing really good football thus far into the season. 6 games played, 4.5 sacks, had a really red-hot start in that regard, but has cooled down a little bit. Still a really good player that can improve a defensive line rotation, and he's somebody that could easily not replace Nick Bosa, but somebody who could be a nice little sidestep almost. It's not going to be nearly as good of a player as Bosa, but, I mean, he's a player that is quality, has had some good production throughout his career, and, you know, could help them out in San Francisco. All in all, I do know that there are a lot of teams out there who are always looking to upgrade their defensive line, and we obviously know that there's a lot of teams out there as contenders who believe you get that one extra edge rusher, you get that one extra player in the rotation, and that can really, really help you out. So teams always want to look to upgrade their defensive line. I do think another team that might be interested, the NFL has seen another edge rusher recently step away. It's Zadarius Smith. In case you guys didn't know this, he retired. Crazy. 11 seasons. I kind of out of nowhere, honestly. He retired today, on Monday, this morning. So, you know, we'll see what happens with the future of Carl Granderson. We'll see what happens with the future of the rest of the teams out there. The Eagles, the Niners. There's always teams who need edge rushers. Injuries are going to pop up here throughout the season. We'll see what happens. And I can tell you right now, if the New Orleans Saints do make a trade, we got you covered. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. If there's anything notable that happens, let's say Olave gets traded, let's say Kamara gets traded, let's say Demario gets traded, let's say Pete Werner gets traded. If anything notable happens, not only will we provide content for you, but we're going to be live here on the show, breaking it all down and getting your reactions as well. So make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications. That way you don't miss a thing. Now, 2 players I expect to be getting a lot of trade interest as well. No mystery here. Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed. I'm going to have a conversation about why these guys could be on the trade block and why I would or would not trade these players, and maybe some destinations where they could potentially end up. But I want to tell you guys about today's really awesome deal of the day. 40% off. The sale ends today. Click the link, chatsports.com/Cam Jordan sale. I made the link available in the comments and description of this video. It's an autographed Saints mini helmet. I actually have a mini helmet just like this one. It's not autographed, unfortunately, so yours would look a lot cooler than mine. But I have this mini helmet. It would be just like that, but autographed, and it's 40% off with Cam Jordan, the Saints Legends signature. So if you want to get it, we have a sale link for you, chatsports.com/Cam Jordan sale. Click the link in the comments or in the description of this video if you would like to take advantage of the sale and get yourself some awesome Saints merch, or not even merch, like it's a really cool piece of memorabilia for 40% off. I mean, come on, that's an awesome steal. Great gift, too. Now, let's go to the trade interest here. I want to make something abundantly clear here. I would really, really caution trading wide receivers here, because the New Orleans Saints are not a team that has a ton of wide receiver depth. They're not a team that has an illustrious set of playmakers on the offensive side of the football. So if you were to move some of these guys, you are at risk of really hindering the development of Rattler or Shuck, doesn't matter who it is. So in my opinion, if you want to trade one of these guys away, proceed with caution. Now, some teams, that could be needy for a wide receiver. There's a lot of them out there, but here's some that would make some sense. Pittsburgh, New York, Buffalo, the Cardinals. I mean, the Steelers always need receivers. They're always in receiver rumors too. The Cardinals, the Niners, the Patriots. I mean, these are all teams that I could see making some calls. Some of these teams have even already gotten some looks at Chris Olave and, maybe use the game film that they played as a little bit of scouting tape and say, hey, maybe that's the guy that we want. So let's talk about Olave here, because with Chris Olave, it's kind of a tough conversation. He's a player that you traded up to go and get. He's a player who you drafted to be your wide receiver one, and quite frankly, he just hasn't been that. He hasn't been reliable enough. He hasn't been good enough. He struggled this season. He's dealt with a flurry of concussions. He's dealt with some injuries in the past. He just hasn't been reliable enough to be a wide receiver one, in my opinion. And I do think that this year we're seeing a little bit of a different side. Like, how many times have we seen some ridiculous contested catches from Chris Olave? And how many times this year are we seeing him drop just underhand toss pitches to you? Like right here, all you have to do is just hold on to it and he drops it. Like, it gets really, really frustrating when your wide receiver one is making wide receiver 4 mistakes. The New Orleans Saints did pick up his 5th-year option, so he is under contract through 2026. So it's not like you have an urgency to make a decision right now. You still have this entire season to make that decision and potentially trade him in the offseason. But when it comes to Chris Olave, you have to kind of consider the rest of the wide receiver market and be realistic in terms of what he's going to ask for. And if he's looking for true tier 1 wide receiver money, I don't think that he's earned that money yet. I don't believe that Chris Olave has done enough to prove that a lucrative payday from New Orleans would make sense for this player. And I'm not saying that he can't still prove that. I'm not saying that I don't think he will do that. But I don't think to this point the New Orleans Saints have any business paying him an absorbent amount of money. If he's willing to take a little bit of a discount, be wide receiver 2 money, sure. Maybe that's something that would really help this whole situation out. But if he's not part of the long-term plan in the next 4 years, if you're trying to make a push for the playoffs, which hopefully you'll be there by then, if he's not a part of the factor and a part of that equation, you need to trade him before you let him leave in free agency. Learn from your mistakes of letting Trey Hendrickson walk, letting Zach Bond walk. I mean, you need to trade away players that are already going to be not a part of your long-term plan in the first place. So when it comes to Rashid Shaheed, I want to make one thing explicitly clear. There are a lot of players I am okay with trading with, and there are a handful, a very, very small handful of players that I are saying absolutely untouchable. Rashid Shaheed is at the top of that list. If the New Orleans Saints made the jackassery decision, and that's not even a word, but if they made the stupid decision to trade Rashid Shaheed, I don't think I would literally be able to control myself. I think it would be the most generational crash out I've ever had on this channel. I think it would be absolutely insane. I literally was talking about Lopez. I actually might cry. Like, might be grown man tears that come streaming down my face if we trade number 22. Like, I would lose my mind. Y'all know how much of a fan I am of Rashid Shaheed. Y'all know how long I've been on the hype train. Y'all know I was one of the first people to talk about this guy as a legitimate weapon for the New Orleans Saints. I would crash out like nobody's business if we traded away Rashid Shaheed. But again, it's tough conversations. Why are we having these tough conversations? Because the New Orleans Saints are in the midst of a rebuild. And when you talk about this team realistically, you have to consider all of the factors, and you have to consider the future more than the present. And I don't want to move Olave. I don't want to move Rashid Shaheed. I don't want to lose some of these legends that we have on the roster. I don't want to trade away some of the players that I still really like. But at the end of the day, you need to draft playmakers. You need to draft game changers, and the Saints only have 5 picks. So the black and gold needs to have those tough conversations and needs to do a realistic look in the mirror and evaluate what you need, what you don't need, and you need to have a realistic conversation. Are these guys a part of the long-term plan? If the answer is no, there needs to be a conversation about trading them. If the answer is yes, you hold on to them. You have the keys and you have the power and you have the control to drive the trades because you do have the players that other teams want. So drive up the price if you can. But realistically, if you get a nice offer for a player, like a second or a third for Olave, I'm taking that deal. Now, I want you guys to go ahead and give me a follow on social media. I post over there all the time, a lot more than I do on YouTube, and I put out 2 videos a day on YouTube. So if you guys want to see more content in between these videos, hit me up on X, Instagram, or TikTok. I have the links to my profiles in the comments and description of this video, or you can just search up Trizzy Trace in either of these 3 platforms, and your boy will pop up. Appreciate you guys for rocking and rolling with us. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time. I'm going to be honest, I don't really like how I started that video. The second half of that video, much better than the first half.
Yeah.
I don't think that I did a good job with that.
Wasn't bad.
I don't really like, I know that we talked about doing a short there. I kind of hated everything I said in that.
If you want after this, we can just film a 60-second short.
I might do that. I am going to do that. We'll do that. I just don't like how that ended up. Because I was like rambling about stupid
Honestly,
shit.
if you want to just rip it right now, I can just cut it after this.
Let's do it.
Let's talk Fred Warner one more time.
We're going to talk Fred Warner one more time in case you guys didn't see it.
Yeah. In case you relate, that's fine.
I love football. Says you did good, Trizzy. Oh, thanks, man.
I like that guy.
Yeah. I love football. I love you, bro. Yes. You're muted. Cool. In case you missed it, the San Francisco 49ers had a devastating loss on their defense. Fred Warner will be out for the remainder of the season because he has to get surgery on a dislocated ankle. So I think that the New Orleans Saints should be expecting to get phone calls from the 49ers for players, especially Demario Davis and Pete Werner. I don't want to lose Demario. I would rather trade away Pete Werner. But when you consider what all-pro Fred is to the 49ers defense, it's very similar to what Demario Davis's impact is in New Orleans. So I could see them trying to replace one high-level linebacker with another. But let me know in the comment section, would you trade away Fred Warner? Let me know in the comments section, would you trade away Demario Davis to the 49ers? And make sure you subscribe to Saints Now by Chat Sports because if anything happens, we're going live. I frigged that one up. Huh? Yeah. I don't know if I sounded, I kind of stuttered over my words on the last part of it, but it was a good bit. I think we're good there. Alrighty. Second segment coming at you.
Get your mailbag question then.
Get your mailbag questions, hashtag Saints. If you have hot takes, if you have questions.
Or if you're just like, hey, I want to be on that fresh white Saints helmet that is in the studio at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
We can get your name on that real fast.
Here we are.
You won't be the first one, but you can be top 10.
It's the helmet's first day out. Who wants to party?
You can be top 5. Name on.
You will be the 4th person on this helmet.
Do it for Kool-Aid. You want to be Kool-Aid?
If you want Kool-Aid to play better football, somebody get a helmet sticker for Kool-Aid. If you look.
In honor of Kool-Aid.
Honor of Kool-Aid to play better. $10 super chat.
Or to keep Derek Carr in retirement.
Yeah, you want. Oh my God, dude.
Fund Derek Carr's retirement.
We might. I saw some report that the Bengals or somebody was making a phone call to Derek Carr. Like, there's no.
I think they made the call before trading for Flacco.
Before Flacco, yeah. Crazy. Who wants to be the next guy on the helmet? Anybody? Anybody? Any takers? Any takers?
It's a 3-man duck race.
Any takers? If you get a helmet sticker, you might actually get this helmet in your mail. Fun fact. Dude, it looks so good, in person with the speckles, too.
It does. It's a little details.
Yeah, no, it was a minor detail that honestly didn't get nearly enough love. And then the fleur-de-lis on the stripes, so sick.
I do like the metallic stickers. I know we were talking about those earlier. I like how it looks.
Yeah, no, it looks awesome. It looks it's pretty much the same gold too, which is sick. Alrighty, $10. You can get a helmet sticker if you would like to join the crew. There you go. Alrighty, let's get into the second segment. And we're going to talk about some things that I've learned about this team so far. All right. Also, I'll make a deal. If somebody buys a helmet sticker during this segment, You got about 10, 15 minutes to decide whether or not you want a helmet sticker. If you do that, I will show you my first mock draft of the season. If we get 2, I'll show you my second one as well. I have 2 mock drafts. So if we get 2 people to get on the helmet, not only will you guys get a helmet sticker, you'll also get to see my first mock drafts of the year. Leaked. I'm going to leak them to you. So there you go. All righty. Let's get on into it. Chase Young earned an 86.1 PFF grade. 3rd across all of the Saints. Spencer Rattler, 93.2. Ah! Huh? Yeah, he was 93.2. It's like by a wide margin, too, for offense. All righty, let's talk about what we've learned about this team so far. I think that, so we're 6 games into it. There's 18 weeks. So we're 1/3 of the way through the season. Yeah, let's get into it. Saints fans, prize picks as well. Cool. All right, let's recap the things that we have learned about the New Orleans Saints so far. We're 1/3 of the way through the 2025 NFL season, Kellen Moore's first year as the head honcho in New Orleans. So I want to have a conversation about some things that I've observed and some things that I've noticed around this football team. Thank you so much for tuning in to Saints Now by Chat Sports. My name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. That's my guy, Loco Lopez, on the 1s and 2s. Let's get this party started. First thing that we've learned about this squad. They are a very, very scrappy team. They have a ton of fight, and they are a team that's going to come to play every single week. They're going to be competitive, and for what it's worth, I don't think that they're ready to swing up to their opponents. I don't think that they're ready to take on and beat these teams that are at the top of the league that are much, much better. But I think if there is a team that has a roster similar in skill set and a little, or maybe even, God forbid, a little bit worse, maybe even a little bit better, I think that that's a team that you could see the New Orleans Saints compete with and potentially beat. Giants were an example of that. The Cardinals, I think that they're a good team, but I think that they're another example of that. The Bills, I mean, they're an elite team, and you hung around with them all season long. Or not all season, all game long up until the very end. And when it comes to this team, it's a really, really nice thing that they are scrappy and they do have a lot of fight and they are resilient because they start games very, very slow. That's something that I've also noticed. They are a team that is a second-half team through and through. They do not do a lot offensively or defensively in the first halves. And fun fact, the Saints have not forced a first-quarter punt since week 2, and they have had multiple weeks in a row where they've given up drive or back-to-back touchdown drives in the first few drives. So the New Orleans Saints in first-quarter scores this year, again, thank goodness they're scrapping. They got a lot of fight because you are only starting in the negative. You are every single game starting at a deficit. You have not left the first quarter yet with a lead. You haven't even left with a tie. If you start off hot and you start off well, maybe, just maybe, this is a thing that you could actually turn into some more wins. And for what it's worth, this is also extremely disappointing. A negative 49 scoring differential so far this year in the opening quarter. That's not going to get it done. So again, thank God that they are a team that's scrappy and has a ton of fight because they are in almost every single game. They have been in almost every single game. Outside of the Seahawks game, they have took it down to the last 5 minutes every single game. For most of these games, it's been a one-possession loss. For most of these games, it's been down to the wire. I mean, you had a chance to tie/win against Arizona. You had a chance to tie or to win against San Francisco. Week 3 against Seattle, breaks got blown off within the first quarter. It was done. But then in the week 4 against the Bills, you hung around the entire time up until the last 5 minutes. Week 5, you get a win. You bounce back after starting ridiculously slow, and you get a W. And then yesterday, on Sunday, we're filming this Monday live show. On Sunday, you battled, you were in there, you hung around, and you had an opportunity to go down and drive late in the fourth quarter, and then Juwan Johnson fumbled. So that's a thing I've noticed. There's a lot of fight. It's a really, really scrappy team. They're not going to play pretty football. It might be ugly, but they're going to show up and compete every single week, which I think is a good trait and a good quality of a team, especially when they're early on in a rebuild and especially in a first year under a new head coach. Now, second thing that I've noticed with this team, the roster. Newsflash, needs some work. We have seen way too many draft picks not hit. Just gonna go ahead and say it. We've seen too many shitty draft classes. We're past the first few minutes, so I can say it. We've seen too many shitty draft classes. Just got to be better. Like, quite frankly, I'm gonna be honest. You have a lot of needs. I don't know what the biggest one is. I'll let you guys let me know. What do you think we should draft in round 1? I mean, Lopez, what do you think, man? Like, what, quick, mic up. What's kind of your dream situation in round 1?
I think if we're picking top 5, I know we've been talking edge or maybe someone in the secondary like Caleb Downs. I think that's kind of where I'm leaning right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going for a difference maker. I need somebody who's going to be a game changer and a difference maker and somebody who can just take over. I don't care if it's offense. I don't care if it's defense, but I need somebody who can get, just be a game breaker for me. That's what I want. So whether it's edge, safety, quarterback, I kind of am cool on quarterback, but receiver would be in love with that. Hell, maybe even trade back to try to get some extra draft picks. What do you guys think we should do in round 1? I can tell you right now the biggest needs for New Orleans, in my opinion, are edge, guard, defensive back, receiver, tight end. I don't think special teams has been good. I'm not going to sit here and say that you need to go and draft a kicker and a punter. I actually think that drafting a kicker and a punter might be a bad idea unless it's a guy like Cam Little, which, for what it's worth, I went on record. I said multiple times you should go draft him, and people told me, no, Groupie's going to be fine. Whatever. Anyway, I think that there are some positions you actually do have some solid depth, and you do have or you don't have a massive need for them. Linebacker being one of those. Even if you do end up trading Werner or Demario, I really like the depth that you have in there. I think Danny Stutzman, Isaiah Stallbert, Jalen Ford is a really exciting young trio. And I do think that you do need to add to the linebacker room. So drafting a guy like Harold Perkins or something, or a Whit Weeks, that would be really fun. I think that would be a smart addition in the draft. But running back, I also think you're fine. I know Alvin Kamara is getting older, but Kendre Miller, we haven't really seen much from Devin Neal. I'm really excited to see more from him. I think that those are two good players. Maybe get a third guy to have in the rotation, but you have your two. Running back, like I mentioned, offensive tackle, I think you're good. You got your starters. Don't really think you need to dip there again. Center, Eric McCoy is one of the best in the league. I actually like defensive tackle. Brian Brzee having a pretty good year, and we're starting to see the youngsters take over. The rookies and the second and third year players have really started to take over and emerge on game day. And with the New Orleans Saints, I think that they just need to focus on hitting their draft picks more often. And let's just simple things down. Let's dumb it down here. And I think Kellen Moore kind of did that because so far I'm in love with this draft class and what they've done for the New Orleans Saints so far with this 9-pick draft class led by Kelvin Banks. We know we haven't seen Shuck. That'll be a big factor here. But Danny Stutzman I'm in love with. Quincy Riley I really like. Jonas Sanker has been awesome. You also have Devin Neal, who we haven't seen much. I really like this draft class. But you need to hit on it more often. You got to stop missing on your first-round picks. Got to stop missing on your second-round picks. Got to stop missing on your third-round picks. God forbid you have a top 100 pick. Please nail that selection. Just get it right. You have a top 50 pick. Please get it right. That's all I'm asking. We need to hit on our draft picks more often. Stop overthinking things. Go and get guys who are not projects and not really good potential. Get guys who are proven players. Get guys who are good. Crazy concept, I know. Anyway, we're going to get into some more things that I've learned here in just one moment. But first things first, we got to thank today's presenting sponsor, and that is the #1 daily fantasy sports app in the whole wide world, Prize Picks. This episode of Saints Now by Chat Sports, brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I, and we make decisions every single day. But over at Prize Picks, being right actually can get you paid. So don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. It's the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. So if you want to pick more or less, if you want to pick more on Josh Allen's pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns, now you can pick all of them in the same lineup only on Prize Picks. You can also follow other players directly on the app and copy their lineups in one click, whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like. Hit the follow button, check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab over on PrizePicks. It's really, really fun. I definitely recommend you to check it out. It's a pretty cool new feature that they have over on PrizePicks just to make the app and the excitement a little bit more fun. Now, for some selections I got this week, I am going with 2 simple selections. I've actually been falling in love with doing this. This lineup right here, $20 wins you 90 if I have that correct. I'm about 99% sure. It's 20 to win 90 with this lineup right here. But it's 2 catches. 2 catches and I win $90. Are you kidding me? DK Metcalf touchdown, Jamar Chase touchdown, and your boy makes $90 just like that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I don't know how much to make it easier, but you guys can go ahead and fade picks. You can tail picks. Don't care what you do. Just go and do it over at PrizePicks. I absolutely love PrizePicks. I play it every single game day, and it's not just for football, hockey, basketball, professional sports, college sports, doesn't matter. PrizePicks is the place to play daily fantasy sports. Join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 daily fantasy sports app, and that is PrizePicks. Download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Let's go CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Shout out to PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. I made the link clickable in the comments and description of this video to make it easy for you. So let's talk about another thing that we've learned. The New Orleans Saints, they can't finish. And at first, this was one of those things where I was like, you know what, they just struggle to finish games. And then I kind of thought about it. I was like, you know, it's actually interesting. They struggle to finish drives. I was like, actually, they struggle to finish not just offensive drives, but defensive drives. Like, so just blanket statement, they can't finish anything. They can't. The Saints, fun fact, they're bad in the red zone. I know, newsflash. The red zone scoring percentage in terms of touchdowns, bottom of the league, number 29th. Ranks 29th at 42.1% success rate. That's not ideal. The New Orleans Saints way too often are settling for field goals and not playing aggressive football, which is a little bit frustrating. I can understand why they may not be super aggressive at this point, but I am a little bit concerned with the lack of red zone production. I'm also concerned with the lack of multiple touchdown games from Spencer Rattler. He only has 1 of those in his career. And when it comes to the black and gold, their biggest problem, it's not having bad wide receivers. It's not having poor quarterback play. It's not play calling. It's not anything. The problem is all of it. They are addicted to unloading the clip on their own foot. They shoot themselves in the foot every single time they get. I'm telling you right now, if you looked at a Saints player's left foot, it would look like a slice of Swiss cheese, because they are addicted to self-inflicted wounds. They cannot stop them. And if you just did, guess what? It would help. It would. If you could get down, if you could sack the quarterback on 3rd down and not let him run for 30 yards or not let him throw for a 50-yard touchdown, that would help. If you could finish your drives after a 50-yard bomb and go and get a touchdown instead of settling for 3, that would help. If you could find a way to finish tackles and not let the ball carrier fight for those extra 2 yards to extend the drive, that would help. There's so many little things that if you just finish your dinner, it fixes so much. And the Saints, like I said, they need to find ways to stop settling for field goals. I'm really, really tired of non-aggressive football. I'm really, really tired of settling. Blake Groupie is not good enough, in my opinion, to just be like, yep, just trot him out there every single time we get. Like, I want it to be very, very clear here. I don't dislike Blake Groupie as my kicker. He struggled a little bit. He seems like he kind of has the yips. He was perfect against the Patriots, thank God, but he doesn't have a clutch gene. Like, I don't want to leave this to field goals. Score touchdowns. When you get inside the 20, score freaking touchdowns. I had to stop myself there. But if you get inside the 20, score touchdowns. It's really not rocket science. I know it's hard. The other team's trying to stop you. But you have Devon Vele. You have Juwan Johnson. You have Taysom Hill available now. You have Kendre Miller. There's no you have Foster Moreau available too. You have Maliki Matavao and Jack Stoll around. These guys are all options. Maliki Matavao is over almost 7 foot. He's like 6'8" or something like that. It's insane. Like, target your big body guys in the red zone. Kellen Moore, I don't know how you do it. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if play calling needs to. I don't know. Figure it out, man. Figure it out. We just got to get more touchdowns. And I know that that's not a newsflash. I know it's not some ridiculously huge revelation, but, like, it's that simple. Score points. Finish drives. Finish tackles. get off the field on third down. Stop making stupid mistakes late in games. Stop dropping balls late in games. Stop fumbling when you have the opportunity to go drive and take the lead. Got to be better. Got to finish in all aspects of the game. You got to finish. Kellen Moore is the guy. That's one other thing that I've learned. We have revealed that the New Orleans Saints are a scrappy team with a lot of fight. They are a roster that is okay, but needs a lot of work. And despite this, this is kind of how this video came to fruition. You're literally seeing it pop into how it kind of came to my mind right here. This was a train of thought literally happening in action. This team has proven they are scrappy and they have a lot of fight. And they are going to battle each and every game. Despite not having a great roster, they are still a team that competes and that believes that they can compete and believes, why not us? They're a team that has a lot of faith in Kellen Moore. Despite the fact that the roster isn't quite there, that is a big reason, in my opinion, that they cannot finish. They don't have the talent to just take over a game and change it all on the flip of a dime. And because they can't finish, it is a problem. It is a situation that needs to be fixed. It is something I believe will be fixed because we've seen Kellen Moore have issues and address issues. Penalties, of course, it's been a problem, but for what it's worth, it's really drawn in a lot from the beginning of the season, especially in the Dennis Allen era, too. It was bad. I believe Kellen Moore is the guy. You can tell this team is much better coached. You can tell that this team is a much more organized team. You can tell that this is a squad that is ready, maybe not to play on game day and win, but they're a team that's ready to go out there and fight. They're a team that's ready to go out there and compete. And despite having a roster that isn't really all that great, despite having a situation where you cannot finish drives and you cannot finish plays, you are still a team that has a lot of fight. You're still a team that is scrappy. You're still a team that has been in almost every single game. You're a team that's played much, much better football than what your record indicates. And you're a team that has shown you are not the worst team in the National Football League by any stretch whatsoever. You are definitely better than the Titans, who just fired their head coach. You are definitely better than the Jets. You are definitely better than the Dolphins. You are definitely better than the Giants. You just beat them. You want to say they're not? They beat them. Whatever. Either way, my point being, you're better than the Raiders too, just another team to name. My point being, this is a team that is headed in the right direction. They may not be doing it right now, but year 2, year 3, year 4, I'm really, really eager to see what happens here. I'm impressed with this team being as competitive as they have been. I'm impressed with how they've shown up to game days. I know that there have been mistakes. I know there have been problems, but let's look around at other teams in the league. Let's look around at other squads who hired a new head coach this year. The Raiders, they're a dumpster fire. They're terrible. They're a bad football team. Pete Carroll is a winning football coach. He's traditionally been a guy who's been successful. Not good. They're a bad team. They are really, really bad. The Jets, horrible. Aaron Glenn, Justin Fields, that is not a good duo. That is not a pairing that has worked out well. Ben Johnson hasn't been bad. Hasn't been as good as everyone thought it was going to be. It's going to be totally honest. Of course, you can take a look at Liam Cohen and say, well, they're doing amazing. I think the Jags roster is much, much better. They have their franchise guy. They got to go and just get a fun weapon in Travis Hunter. They have weapons in Brian Thomas Jr. They have a nice running game. They have a nice defense. They have Eric Armstead on that roster. They have a quality squad. Jalen Walker. You have players on the Jags that make them a more complete football team. I think that the New Orleans Saints, despite what people said early on in the hire, I think they nailed it. I think that Kellen Moore is the guy. I think that he is a coach you see every single week. His team is a little bit better. His team has things in a better situation, in my opinion. And I think that when you consider all of the factors of bad roster, missed draft picks, bad spending over the past few years, Kellen Moore has, I'm going to quote John O'Barnes on here, one of the homies. I'm going to quote him, and he's turned chicken shit into chicken salad, and I'm really, really excited and eager to see year 2 and year 3 because I think that's where you're really going to see this team skyrocket and get back into the top of the NFC South. Now, how confident are you in Kellen Moore? I'm going to go ahead and say mine's at a 90. I'm not going to say I'm 100. I'm not going to say this guy's going to win us a Super Bowl and make us the next dynasty, but I think that he's going to be a coach that will be around for a long, long time. I think he's a coach that is only going to keep getting better with time. to be totally honest. Appreciate you guys for rocking and rolling with us here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. As always, I'm your host, Trizzy Trace Girouard. If you want to show some love to the producer, his name is Loco Lopez, and he's been absolutely crushing it for us. So none of this content is possible without Lopez. Make sure you get a comment down below. He always replies to you guys in the comments, so make sure you have a conversation with him. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time.
Then now people know it's me that does all the comments.
I know.
All the bullshit comments, those are usually me. Just a reminder, get your hashtag Saints question in.
Adam Schefter, I don't see a head coaching move in the NFL happening anytime soon. I don't see Brian Callahan, Mike McDaniel, or Aaron Glenn happening soon.
0 for 1.
0 for 1. And the fact that they're actually having conversation about Aaron Glenn getting fired, this has been 6 weeks. Like, that's kind of my point. It's been that bad, and it hasn't been that bad in New Orleans.
Ooh, Brian Branch just got suspended for a game.
I did see that.
That was crazy.
Wild. Alrighty. What'd you guys think of that segment right there? Did y'all have fun with it? We got a couple super chats too. Did you guys enjoy that segment? Let me know what y'all thought about that one. Was I spitting facts? Did I bring the heat or what? Kind of felt like I was a little bit jumbled with it, but I did. Thought it was a fun one.
I love football. Said it was lit. That's all we need.
'Twas lit. Thank you. Yep, I love football. That's exactly what I want to hear.
He spoke for everybody. Sorry. If you didn't like it, I love football spoke for you. We did get a couple super chats. Another one from CTM saying, when do you think we'll get to see Devin Neal get some run this season? Or do you think he'll even play at all? I think he'll get some... Because he played in week 1, right?
Who?
Devin Neal.
Yes.
Yeah, I imagine that's kind of
He played week 1, and then he was available yesterday.
Yeah, I imagine from what we saw in week 1 when he got like very limited snaps, that's probably to the extent we'll see him this season. Similar to that.
How fun would it be to see Taysom Hill? Off topic. How fun would it be to see him have a legacy game against Dennis Allen? Which, by the way, you get to see your op this week.
Oh yeah, it is Dennis Allen.
You get to see your op. It's Dennis Allen Hate Week.
What are we gonna do? We have to do something special for Dennis Allen Hate Week. Think they sell Dennis Allen fatheads?
Hmm?
Think they sell like Dennis Allen fatheads? Like the big like cardboard cutouts, like that LeBron one that we have right there.
Yeah.
We just beat Dennis Allen.
That'd be funny. Could like draw on it, like pour beer on it and shit.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. The other thing that came to mind was they had the clown mask. $100. Dennis Allen joins the show, and I just clown up. I love football. Says we need to use Vele more. I'm totally with you.
Shout out to Bam Machada, saying, I need nothing less than George Pickens type player at wide receiver 1. A dog. Someone ruthless and technical. I miss Mike Thomas. Hope he's doing well. Who dat? I don't know if you saw George Pickens highlights this week. Dude's fucking hilarious. I love George Pickens. It's like he has a great play of hurdling a Panther, and then like the couple plays later he tries hurdling him and just jumps straight into his face. Like, George Pickens is just fun to watch. You never know what he's going to do next. But he is a dog.
So Brian, I just had a great tweet. Brian Branch suspended 1 game. I said this punishment is enough. He should be forced to play for the New Orleans Saints for the rest of his career.
Send down New Orleans.
All right, who's ready to get into the mailbag? Who's ready to get in the mailbag? Hashtag Saints.
Be sure to get your hashtag Saints in, and then also I imagine this will carry over, but if you send in a $10 super chat for your question,
yes,
you get on the helmet.
$10 on the helmet. We have a couple super chats that will hit at in the mailbag, so appreciate you guys for sending those. I want to make sure I give you a live reaction to it. I don't want to cheat and look ahead. So if you want to get on the helmet, brand new white, icy white Saints helmet, we're going to be putting stickers all over it of our legends on the channel, and then we're going to be giving it away to somebody. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? So if you would like to be the proud new owner of a white Saints helmet, a full-size white Saints helmet, look at that, right next to my dome.
Full dome.
Full dome. $10, you can get a helmet sticker. On game day, if you're like, I'll wait, that's a bad idea because they go up to $20. Alrighty, let's get into it. Bams, isn't it crazy that our wide receiver 1 wouldn't even be wide receiver 3 on the Eagles? Damn, that is crazy, bro. Damn, bro. As a Steelers fan, I'm happy we traded him away. George Pickens. Darwin Nolan. He says, as a Steelers fan, I would love for Rashid Shaheed to get traded. First of all, I want to say thank you for your service. Second of all, you get Chris Olave, and you're gonna like it. You get Chris Olave for a second-round pick, and you're gonna like it.
And you're gonna give us T.J. Watt.
You are, yeah. You know what? You're getting Chris Olave for T.J. Watt, and you're gonna shut up and you're gonna take it. Okay? Okay? You're not getting my sweet prince, Rashid Shaheed. That is my sweet prince. If you take Rashid Shaheed, I swear to God, I'll come up to Pittsburgh and I'll get him back myself. I'll do just like Dunder Mifflin in that episode of The Office where Michael and Dwight and Jim, they go undercover and they try to steal the printer. That's going to be what I do. That's what I do, Darwin. That's what I'm doing. Jokes, of course. But don't even think about taking my sweet prince, Rashid Shaheed. You can have Chris Olave. You do not get to touch Rashid Shaheed. That is my sweet prince. My sweet prince.
If you want, we'll also throw in Mickey Loomis.
Yeah. Okay, here's the trade. Final offer. Chris Olave and Mickey Loomis for T.J. Watt and DK Metcalf. Who says no?
I'm thinking Chris Boswell. I'm tired of groupie. Let's get Chris Boswell. You can keep DK.
You can keep DK. Final offer. Mickey Loomis and Chris Olave for Chris Boswell and T.J. Watt. Who says no? Not me. Not me. I don't say no.
I don't hear anybody saying no.
Huh?
I don't hear anybody saying no.
I haven't seen anybody say no to that yet.
Nobody was like, oh, that's a
And you know what's crazy is I'm going to start looking away, so whenever somebody does say no, I don't see it.
We're not going to acknowledge you.
It's crazy.
Sorry.
Sonia, what about Alvin? You should use hashtag Saints and ask that question. Use hashtag Saints and ask that question, Sonia, and I'll answer it in the mailbag.
No one wanted to see your mock.
Yeah, nobody wanted to rock out with my mock out.
I guess they're gonna have to sub to your OnlyFans, see your mock now.
Yeah, if you want to see my big old mock, my big
7-round mock.
Yeah, my big 7-round mock. It's a big old 7-round mock. You're gonna have to subscribe to the OF. Invite to the OF.
You could have had a sneak peek.
I was trying to think of a good pun there. I don't have a good pun there.
For what?
I don't know. I was trying to think of it like an OF pun, but and relate it to Saints somehow, but it doesn't. And I was like, oh well. Anyway, we're off the rails now. So if you have a question, hashtag Saints, send in a super chat. We're going to get into the mailbag portion of today's show. CTM, thank you for your hashtag Saints. We'll be able to get that.
CTM has a couple of them.
Mile high, Derek Carr is the only one who can save the Saints Super Bowl hopes and dreams. That is quite literally.
He might actually be a mile high.
Yeah, mile high. You legitimately might be a mile high. I don't know what you smoked, but I'm going to need some of that. Carr was the future of the Saints. My brother in Christ, he was over 30 years old. I don't know how much. I don't know how they teach futures out in Denver, but future means not now, later on down the road. So mile high. I love you, bro, and I will never, ever, ever let anybody talk to you poorly. But what the fuck are you saying?
I I won't let anybody talk to you like this. But what the fuck? Nobody else can say that.
Yeah, nobody else can say it. Just me. It's a question. It's a question. It's a joke, brother. Alrighty. He also was hurt. I don't know if it was like how much medically, but he was like at risk of missing some time because he needed surgery. God, the Titans are so bad, dude.
SoCal, use #Saints, and we know the answer to that question.
This is my bad. I was a big fan of Carr. Because he lost a lot of games.
I'd be a big fan, too, if he gave me 2 free wins every year.
Yeah, if he gave you 2 wins. SoCal, why is Asante Samuel still a free agent? You should use #Saints and ask that question because I know the answer, and I could give you the answer. Crazy. I could give you the answer if you want. I will reveal my knowledge to you if you use #Saints, SoCal. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to reset my timer, and Lopez, whenever you're ready. Jazz. Yeah. Cool. Same photo. It's a party. We're talking rumors like it's high school again here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. First things first, we're going to go into whether or not Taysom Hill should be QB1. There's been chatter out there. People are still saying it in my comments, and I'm just going to go ahead and have the conversation once so I don't have to have it again. And then we're going to get into a mailbag where the subscribers of Saints Now by Chat Sports ask questions, share their hot takes, and they get responses from me and my producer, Loco Lopez, live on Saints Now. We go live Mondays, we go live Thursdays, and we go live game days. So make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications. Let's talk Taysom Hill. All right, I've seen a lot of fans out there suggest now that Taysom Hill is healthy, he should be QB1. Like, we're good. He's healthy. Life's good. We're going to be great. Boom. Make Taysom Hill QB1. Spencer Rattler is 1-11. Tyler Shuck blows. Blah, 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 blah. One thing I want to make explicitly clear. First of all, I love y'all. YouTube comments and everything. Not going to find the greatest ideas in terms of what you should do for coaching. Just going to put it out there. That being said, a lot of this is just fans saying this. There's no reports out there. There's no anything out there that suggests the Saints are going to be starting Taysom Hill. This is just people saying, oh, my God, he's available. We need to start winning games. Taysom Hill has won a lot of games at quarterback, which for what it's worth, I do think makes sense of, well, he's won a lot of games. He's been a player who's been super successful as my quarterback, and he's been tremendous throughout his NFL career. Like, I want something to be explicitly clear before I address the QB1 side of things. Taysom Hill should be in the Hall of Fame. He should end up in Canton. He is a one-of-one player. We will never see another player like him, and you can call it a gimmick. You can call it whatever you want. Taysom Hill, he is truly the best true football player in the entire National Football League. Name one other player, maybe outside of Travis Hunter, who can do what Taysom Hill is doing / has done, and for the longevity that he's done it and at the level, Taysom Hill, one of the best overall football players in the last 10, 15 years that I've seen at least. Now, let's talk about the quarterback situation, though, because I think that making him QB1 would actually be a terrible idea. I know a lot of y'all are going to sit here, well, he's won so many games when he was a quarterback, so why wouldn't we do it? You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, let's consider some facts here. You don't have Sean Payton, who was the Taysom Hill whisperer. You also had Taysom Hill at a much younger age. You had him at a much earlier point in his career. And at this point, I don't think it makes any sense whatsoever. So I have 4 reasons. There's 100, but there's 4 that we're going to just narrow it down to. First things first, you need to prioritize the youth. I think if you decide to put in Taysom Hill at quarterback, you are severely hurting the development of not just your starter, but your backup quarterback too. Spencer Rattler will suffer. Tyler Shuck will suffer. It will not help the future of this team. Secondly, he's 35. That alone is a reason. He's also not a true quarterback. Never has been. I know that at times he's started. When have we seen Taysom Hill at his best, Lopez? Has it been when he's taken every single snap from quarterback, or is it when he's been lining up all over the place and gotten to just be a weapon? Yeah, when he, as Lopez said, when he kind of just bebops around and plays football, that's where he's at his best. So Taysom Hill, you also have to consider, he recently returned from injury. Why have we not seen him more on the field? Why wasn't he as big of a factor against the Patriots? Well, he scored the one touchdown, which was awesome. But again, he's recently returned from injury. And this is a brand new offensive system. And he's a smart player. He's somebody who could easily learn it. But you have to be realistic and understand the facts. This is just not going to happen. You can want it to happen. You can say it should happen. You can give all of the stats and all of the facts and all of whatever that has happened up to this point. But the reality is we have closed the chapter of the Sean Payton era entirely. We have now opened the Kellen Moore era entirely. And Taysom Hill as a quarterback, as a true quarterback, is not part of Kellen Moore's story. You want me to prove you wrong? There's people out there that said Taysom Hill was QB2 and Tyler Shuck was QB3, so Taysom Hill should be QB1, blah, blah. Okay, well, here's the situation. Realistically, Taysom Hill was announced as a joker. His position isn't tight end anymore. His position on the website, maybe it's listed as quarterback. I don't really know. I don't necessarily think that online depth charts are the thing to live and die by. Joker. At Joker. Taysom Hill. In the intros of this most recent game. He's a joker. That's what Kellen Moore views him as. He is not a quarterback. He is not a running back. He is not a receiver. He is not a special teams guy. He is all of those things. He is a joker. So I think that Taysom Hill is better off in a role where he is a weapon. I think Taysom Hill is better off when he is not limited to being one position. I think he's better off if you don't make him a one-trick pony. I think he is a player. If you have him line up everywhere, it only makes your offense maybe hold on, let me rephrase. If you line him up all over the place, sure, maybe you may think, okay, Taysom Hill's going to be doing this. He's going to be running it, whatever. But you do have to consider the fact that maybe he's throwing. You do have to consider the fact that maybe he's just out there blocking. You have to consider the fact maybe out there he is a true receiving threat. Maybe out there he is going to throw the ball. Like, he is better in a role where he can do everything, not just one or two things. And at this point, that time, the time to have the conversation of should Spencer Rattler be benched for, should Taysom Hill be the QB1? That was a conversation at one point. He competed to be QB1 multiple times. He is a player who has always been a backup or an emergency quarterback type player. At one point, this was a conversation to have. At what point, this was something that we could legitimately talk about, say, this would help the team. That time has come, and that time has gone. We are now building for the future. This is now Kellen Moore's team. That doesn't mean that Taysom Hill can't be a contributor and be a really reliable weapon, but he is not a quarterback, and it's time to finish that conversation. Go ahead and close the book because it's done. He is not QB1. But you want to go ahead and try one more time to open it back up, this is your chance. Who should be QB1? Type SR, type TS, type TH. Type the initials of the quarterback you believe should be leading this team, or the player you should be leading this team at the quarterback position. I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say. Now, coming up, we're going to get into our live mailbag question and answer portion of the video, where we're going to be responding to questions or responding to hot takes and answering questions from the Golden Gang, which are our awesome group of subscribers. But first things first, got to tell you guys about today's presenting sponsor, Prize Picks. Guys, you guys want to make some money while watching sports? There's one app that it is so much fun to do that, and it is Prize Picks. And here's this thing. We got a really sweet deal going for you. If you're a viewer of Saints Now by Chat Sports, you can download the Prize Picks app, use code CLNS. You'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. And Prize Picks is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. So if you want to pick more on Josh Allen's passing yards, rushing yards, and touchdowns, you can pick all 3 of those in the same lineup, and that's only over on Prize Picks. You can also follow other players directly on the app. They have a really new feature, and it's awesome, called the Feed tab. You can check out friends, celebrity partners, or just random other Prize Pick players and see what their picks are. You follow the button, check out every lineup they create, and you can also follow their picks. So some picks that I have for this week, if you would like to follow my picks, DK Metcalf, Jamar Chase, more and more. $20 wins you 90. 2 catches, you get $90. Isn't that pretty easy? How great is that? I've been loving these. You just got to get a touchdown kind of thing because it kind of gets you really energized. Sure, you're rooting for him to perform well all game, but it's like, just go score. I don't care. I just want points. That it makes it a little bit more fun, in my opinion. And honestly, I'm also not here to look at numbers and look at all the stats. I just want to say he's going to score or he's not going to score this week. So go check it out with Prize Picks. It's so easy. Even a Falcons fan could do it. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get them right, you cash in. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Let's go CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup when you download the Prize Picks app. Shout out to Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Click the link in the comments or description of this video to get started. Bam! What's going on, brother? I need nothing less than a George Pickens type wide receiver, a dog, someone ruthless and technical. I miss Mike. Hope he's doing well. Who dat? Bam, I could not agree more with you, even if I wanted to. I think that the New Orleans Saints are missing an alpha. I think that they're missing a player who is a game breaker. I think they're missing a player who, at any point in time, will take over and just say, you know what? This is my game. I'm going to go win it. I'm going to go win it because I'm the best player on this field. You don't have that anywhere on your roster right now. I would love to go and add a receiver in the draft that is an alpha, that is a dominant player. A couple that come to mind, Jordan Tyson, Carnell Tate, Nick Harbor, the wide receiver out of South Carolina. Zachariah Branch is a fun one. There's a lot of really good wide receivers out there. You need somebody to complement the speed and the technicality you have in Shaheed, in Chris Olave. And if you want to maximize Chris Olave, my take has been very consistent for the last couple of years. You would be better off adding a big-bodied alpha, similar to how the Eagles had A.J. Brown. Chris Olave had Michael Thomas his first year, and I thought that we got really good production out of Chris Olave. Let's get it back. Crazy concept, but go and get a big-bodied alpha to complement Chris Olave, because I think he's more of a wide receiver like 1B or wide receiver 2. CTM, good to see you, my friend. When do you think we'll get to see Devin Neal get some runs, if you think he will get any at all this season? Fun fact, we actually did see Devin Neal get some runs. In week 1, I believe he had 1 or 2 carries. He was on the field a little bit against the Cardinals in that week 1 matchup. He was inactive weeks 2 through 5, and then in week 6, he returned to the game day roster, or as an active game day. He was active on game day, I should say, and didn't have any carries. But I think that you will start to see more and more as the season progresses. We've already seen Kendre Miller's snap count start raising, and I think that Devin Neal's snap count will also start to raise as Alvin Kamara is still a very impactful player. I don't think they're going to actually trade him. He's said he doesn't want to be traded. I think that he knows that he's going to need to start taking a back seat, and these other players are going to need to start getting more reps. But I think, he was active this past week, so next week maybe he gets a couple runs, but he has gotten a few carries already. I love football. Trizzy, Saints have 5 picks in the 2026 NFL draft. I know you don't want to draft O-line. How about Proctor and use him at guard? I would be okay with Proctor. What I would want to do is I'd want to trade back if you wanted to go and get him. If you have a top 5 pick, let's just say top 5 for the sake of it to make it easy right now, you should be getting a top 5 player. I don't think you need to be drafting Caden Proctor top 5. If you have top 5, I'm going, to be honest, I'm not going quarterback, but I would go Reuben Bain. I would go Jordan Tyson. I'd go Caleb Downs, TJ Parker, just to name a couple. Like, I would go and get somebody who's a difference maker. And I'm not saying Caden Proctor isn't, but if you want to do that, I would trade back, get him a little bit later, get some extra draft picks. Lopez, what do you got to say on this one?
I know you were saying Proctor's not at the top of your board, but imagine Sundays we're in the studio, Caden Proctor Wildcat snaps.
I will say,
taking it to Alabama. That seems amazing.
I think Kellen Moore could have a lot of fun with.
He could play tight end.
That's kind of.
Jawan Johnson, move over. We got a 350-pound tight end.
Yeah, we have a 350-pound fullback who's just going to run right at you. Yeah, or a tight end who will run just a 1 yard out, and that's it.
Tell me that's not fun.
Big guy TDs would be fun. I will say, I think for Caden Proctor, that would be an awesome selection. The reasons you said, Lopez, I would love to see Caden Proctor in New Orleans, but realistically, I want to go get a weapon or a game changer, somebody whose jersey I can buy is kind of the thing, is what I want this year. CTM, we're back at you. I know it's not looking good for us, but we have to see what we have in Tyler. But Spencer is clearly not the problem. How do you feel about rebuilding the team around Rattler? I don't have a problem with rebuilding the team around Rattler. But like you said, you do need to see what you have in Shuck. Kellen Moore drafted Tyler Shuck for a reason. Spencer Rattler, he has been playing good football. He has good qualities. But that was not the players Kellen Moore drafted. It was a player that Kellen Moore was handed. And that's fine. But he drafted Shuck for a reason. Let's go find out what those reasons are. I don't think that that's an unfair statement to say. And what I do think is going to make more sense, unless you start losing every single game, or unless you continue to lose every single game, I should say, I think Rattler should continue to start at least up until the bye. That's where you might want to start having conversation, unless he wins a couple games. And sure, why not? Keep running him out there. But you do need to be realistic and understand you could have an opportunity to have a top draft pick. You could go and draft a quarterback if you wanted to. But do you need one? Got to answer that question first. SoCal, why is Asante Samuel Jr. still a free agent? Was the neck injury that bad? Neck injuries are not something fun to play around with. They just seriously aren't. Nervous system goes through your spine, neck, spine, all connected right there. I believe the injury was probably a lot worse than what was initially believed. I am not going to sit here and speculate on that, to be totally honest, because I don't know. But I can tell you I do know why he hasn't been signed. It's because he hasn't been medically cleared yet. And the reports were that he would come back like mid to late October, right? It was second half of the season.
I think he's supposed to meet with like a specialist to make sure like the spine transfusion was successful.
That's it.
That's at some point this month.
No, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So he's going to meet with the specialist this month. Shout out Lopez, knowing ball. He's the new host. He needs to meet with the specialist and see if he gets cleared. He hasn't been medically cleared yet, so that's why he hasn't been. I don't know. I don't want to speculate on the injury because that's just not my place, but I can tell you that is why he hasn't been signed. Injury's been bad. Let's see. Saints. Oh, Isaiah. # Saints. Trade Olave. Use Vele and Shaheed for wide receiver 1 and 2. Look, I don't know if I want Vele to be my wide receiver 1. I would like to say let's go draft a Carnell Tate. Draft a Jordan Tyson, but I'm okay trading Chris Olave. Draft a wide receiver to be an alpha, be a 1, and then you can have Shaheed and Vele be 2 and 3. I don't think Vele needs to be wide receiver 1. I don't think Shaheed needs to be wide receiver 1. I think both of those are actually better off as a wide receiver 2/3. Which is which, don't really care. I don't have a strong opinion either way. But I would not use Shaheed and Vele as your wide receiver 1 and 2. I would use them as your 2 and 3 still, but go and get another big-bodied alpha wide receiver. It's not that Devon Bailey isn't a big-bodied receiver, but, for the love of God, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua, something like that. Go get a game changer, somebody who's an alpha. Malik Neighbors, to name another one, somebody like that. Go get an alpha. Can we trade Juwan Johnson? Jerry G. All right, I'm going to pull up his contract right now. I do know in terms of trading him, it would actually hurt you financially to do that. So can you? Of course you can, because you can do whatever you want. That's just how life is. Contractually, though, let's go through it. So if you were to trade Juwan Johnson, we're in the midst of the 2026 season, he would be a post-June 1 trade. 2026 dead cap of $4 million, 2027 dead cap at 9.3, 2026 savings. We're in 2025 season. Excuse me. Sorry. Wrong one. 2025 dead cap would be $4 million. 2026 dead cap would be $13.4 million. And in 2025, you'd save $1.17 million. Literally would actually screw you even harder. You would screw yourself if you traded him this offseason or this year right now. Offseason, maybe different story, but you would screw yourself. And for a team that's been trying to get out of financial hell, you cannot do that. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You cannot trade Juwan Johnson. And it is solely a financial reason. And also, if you do trade him, you have no tight end depth whatsoever. I mean, then Foster Moreau is your one. Jack Stolen, Maliki Matavau, and Trayton Welch. Like, come on. No. You can't trade Juwan Johnson. Next question coming in from Mixed. I think if the defense is as strong as they were in the fourth, they could be a playoff team. Sure, man. Yeah. They still got to score points, though. You got to score points on offense. Even in the best game of the season thus far against the Giants, the offense only scored 1 touchdown. So, like, you're not going to win games scoring only 1 touchdown offensively. You're not going to win games when your quarterback only throws for 1 touchdown. You're not going to win games if the only way you're able to score points is throwing Taysom Hill in every once in a while. Like, you need to find ways to score. You need to find ways to be successful in the red zone. Mixed, I'm not going to sit here and say I disagree and think you're wrong, but I don't think it's that simple, to be totally honest. Lopez, what you got?
I'll say it. I disagree. I don't think the defense was that great at all yesterday.
No.
Even towards the end of the game, like, I guess they improved from the first half, but that's like saying,
You went from shit to stink.
Yeah, it's like, you still didn't get off the field on 3rd downs. How many times did they let Mac Hollins get a first down on 3rd and 11, 3rd
or
and 13?
Pop Douglas, or, like, come on. What are we doing here?
Like, the defense wasn't great yesterday at any point.
No, they were bad.
The game was just somehow close.
Yeah, I do think when it comes to the Saints, it is not just clean up one thing and you're good. You clean up 4 or 5 things and you might be good, but you're going to need to be much better. Like, just straight up. You're going to need to be – it's not just fix the defense and life's good. You got to score points. Like, offensively, you've been underwhelming. Defensively, you've been underwhelming. I'll say I'm impressed because I was expecting really bad, but it still hasn't been good enough to be a playoff team. And for what it's worth, easiest path for the Saints to the playoffs, considering their start, would be winning the NFC South, and the Buccaneers are a wagon. You're not going to beat the Buccaneers this year. It's just not going to happen. I'd love to be wrong on that, but they're going to win the NFC South again. Appreciate you guys for rocking and rolling with us here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. This has been our rumors and mailbag portion of the video. Taysom Hill should not be QB1, and we answered some awesome questions from the squad. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. My name is Trizzy Trace Girouard for Loco Lopez. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time. What up?
I like this one.
This is great. Let me pull up my live chat shot. Alrighty.
I don't know if we can get a full liter pineapple big shot for him. It might just be a normal bottle.
What flavor Zaps? That's going to be a big one for me.
Ooh. What flavor are you looking for?
I want Voodoo Heat.
Really?
Or I want Cajun Crawtater.
I'm not a big fan of the Voodoo one.
I love Voodoo. Voodoo Heat versus Voodoo. Voodoo Heat rocks. Cajun Crawtater also nuts. Nuts. I'm going crazy for those ones. I would need at least 2 of those bags. But for this, I'm actually not going to be against it. I'm not against it whatsoever.
I could do it.
1 pineapple Big Shot. What are your thoughts? What's your favorite Big Shot flavor?
Pineapple is probably up there. Grape's a good one.
Grape is a good one. I like the watermelon one.
I don't know if I've ever had
The watermelon one's fire. It's fire. When we were in New Orleans for the Super Bowl, I got one of those. I went over and got a grape one, and then I got a watermelon one. Just from the gas station right across from where we were staying at. It was great.
I might be mistaken. There might be a bubblegum one. I don't know if I tried that. Or like a cotton candy.
I think there's a cotton candy one. That would make sense.
I feel like I've seen cotton candy.
I think it's cotton candy. Big Shots rule, man. We got to find a way to get.
Great.
We should find a way to get some Big Shots in the studio. We can take some shots of Big Shots.
There's like a Shell station like near my house. I can just send someone and be like, hey, want to grab?
I don't think they have. Oh yeah. Oh, you're saying in Louisiana? Yeah.
Like, hey, you want to just ship them?
That'd be sick. Just tell them to do that.
Yeah.
Mail us some like grape. Mail us a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Be sick.
Like a variety.
I Love Football says next year I think our team is going to be so much fun to watch. I totally agree. I think next year is going to be a really fun year.
This is just a tough year.
Yep. Shang Li YT says, what would it take for you to accept an Olave trade? I would, if you got offered a second.
Lower and lower every
look,
day.
I'll tell you right now, if you get offered a second, I'm taking it. I'm not even thinking about it. If you get offered a third, Might consider it.
Remember the days when you were like, we're not trading Chris Olave.
We're not trading him. Yeah, it used to be we're not trading him. Fine, if you want to trade him, then give us your star. Fine, if you're going to trade him, then give us a first. Now it's like second or third for sure.
It's getting lower and lower by the day. Chris Olave.
I'm a Chris Olave fan, man. I am a supporter of his. Josh's brother is a viewer and a supporter of the show, but like.
Now that you learned about jersey insurance.
Yeah, now that I learned about jersey insurance, I
detrimental.
am up, fellas. If we trade Olave, then I still get my jersey swapped out. So, no, in all seriousness, I don't want Olave to go anywhere, but like, you can't sit here and tell me that he's been good enough to be wide receiver 1. He hasn't. He just hasn't. And I thought this year would be a huge, huge step for him. And I think that he hasn't really been great.
He kind of looks scared when he's out there.
No, that's exactly my thoughts, too. He looks like he's scared to dive for the ball. He used to be somebody who would sacrifice himself for the to make the play, not almost, to a fault at times. He's terrified now. Yeah. He doesn't. He's plays scared. Understandably so. I get why. Still scared football though.
Yeah. Scared. Even yesterday, like when nobody was around, I'm like.
Yeah, he's like jumping and like juking when there's nothing. It's like, dude, just go down. Like just go down and like be done with the play. Like, I don't know. Anyway. Bam says I'd trade Olave for a Cowboys cheerleader. He likes to seem to dance more than catch the ball.
I'd trade a lot for a Cowboys cheerleader.
I would also trade a lot for a Cowboys cheerleader. Alrighty, we're going to hop on out of here. Appreciate you guys for rocking and rolling. Actually, 60-second timer. Last chance to get onto the helmet. $10 gets you onto the helmet. After today, the price goes back up to $20. If you want to wait until next Monday, it'll be $10 again. But last chance today, $10. Get your helmet stickers right here, right now. The white helmet is in the studio. We are back with the helmet sticker movement. It's been a fun thing that we've done before. Y'all really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to do it once again. So if you want to get on the white, icy white Saints helmet, $10 super chat, and you can be the next person. Only 3 people on there. There will be a 4th one added soon. And if you are on the helmet, fun fact, you may be receiving it in your mail. So, incentive. Courtney says, put your girl on. All righty, I will.
I had a feeling Queen Courtney would
I knew Queen Courtney wanted to get up there.
On there.
I knew she wanted to be on there. She was on the other one a couple times.
Who won the other one?
Daniel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we sent it to Daniel during the preseason.
I do remember that.
Is preseason free agency? Yeah, it's preseason.
Felt like such a long time ago.
I know. It's been fun too because whenever the legends pull up, they'll super chat to get some of the other guys on there. Like Mikey bought helmet stickers for other people last year. Randy would buy helmet stickers for other people. So did Nico.
Legend.
Queen Courtney did the same. It would be fun because we'd be like, all right, let's put Taysom Hill just scored a touchdown. Let's get Taysom Hill a sticker, or I want to get my little brother a helmet sticker, or it's my girlfriend's birthday. Let's get her a sticker. It was kind of a fun way to.
Nah, that's fire.
It was fun. It was fun to get the whole crew on there.
I'm excited to see how creative y'all get this year.
I know. This will be a fun one. I'm excited to load these up. It'll look really good. All righty. Restarting the timer. 12 seconds remaining. Or wait, restarting it. I hit stop. There you go.
60 seconds remaining.
60 seconds remaining. 60 seconds remaining. $10 to get on the Saints Now helmet. Queen Courtney, Rhett, CTM, and I Love Football. First members of the helmet. So right now, one of you 4 lucky viewers is getting this helmet once it's filled up with stickers. Damn it. I just dropped them.
I just didn't drop the monitor this time.
I know, dude. That was crazy. They said it spilled beer on my monitor like some other people at this company.
I actually did that a little bit yesterday.
Did you really?
I
can't wait to flame you in Slack.
It was actually, it only got on my computer, and my computer works just fine, so you really can't flame me.
No, I can't flame you.
I cleaned it up perfectly.
There you go.
And nobody knew.
There you go. All righty. 10. Wait, 10. There it is. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All righty. We're going to hop on out of here. Queen Courtney, Rhett, CTM, I Love Football, Jerry G, Mile High, Denola Chop, Bam, Caden. Good to see all of you. Thank you for rocking and rolling with us. This has been Saints Now Live. We'll have content coming out later tonight. We'll have content tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. We'll be live on Thursday, game day on Sunday. We will see y'all later.